Today we're going to be working on this Bobcat 763. The last time I tried to start it, it was out of fuel, and I believe some water got into the fuel system from sitting outside. Now, it's been about a year since this machine's been running. Today we're going to try to get it fixed by removing the fuel filter, adding in some fresh fuel, some additives to dry up the water contamination. I haven't worked on a lot of diesels and off-road machines, but I have a pretty good understanding of how this system works. So my son Mason's out here with me today, and he's going to be helping us get this machine running. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some off-road diesel, some, I believe, low sulfur diesel into this machine. All right, buddy? And then we're going to get that 911 that I talked about to hopefully dry up any water that might be in the system, okay?
Yeah. Am I allowed to help with that part?
Yeah, you can put the additive in.
Oh, is that easy?
Yeah.
Oh.
We have to run down and get the additive for the machine, and then I'll let you put it in, okay? All right, let's go. When you open it up, you just need to pop a little hole in there. Might have to take your gloves off, or here, let me.
Yeah, I got it.
Here. Now listen, there's that treats up to 20 gallons of fuel. This is only about 5 gallons, so realistically we should probably only add about a quarter to a half of a bottle. This is the fuel tank.
You put this in?
Yep, you just take your bottle, put it in there quickly so it doesn't spill. There you go. Now hold it, give it a few seconds, because you kind of have to guess to see how much how quickly it's coming out, okay?
Oh, it went almost all
Oh, it's all gone already? That's okay. We have more fuel we can add, so that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Oopsie.
So I heard from an old timer, he said if you put some transmission fluid in, it's going to smoke a little bit having it in the diesel fuel, but it should add some additional lubrication for the mechanical fuel pump. I want to show you something. So we don't have a funnel with us right now, so we're just going to use this as a funnel. I'm going to cut the bottom of the container off, okay? And then that way we have something that we can pour our transmission fluid into the fuel tank without making a big mess, okay? So we'll just throw that off to the side for right now. Go ahead and stick that inside there.
Inside here?
Yep, go ahead and put it in there just like that.
That?
Yep, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of transmission fluid. I really don't know how much.
I think
Yeah, that's probably about all. That's probably gonna smoke really bad, but hopefully, if there is any rust anywhere inside the fuel system, that'll help lubricate some of those parts and get them moving again, okay? Around here, Mason, this is how we open it up. Go ahead and stick your fingers through here. There's a little latch.
right here?
Yep. We're gonna get this popped open now and get the fuel filter replaced. Pull it towards you. Yep, here, I'll show you. You just go like this and then you pull it open.
Okay, let me guess. Let me guess what we're gonna change.
Talk a little louder.
That?
Yeah.
We're gonna change this.
Yeah, that's right.
I got a fuel filter here, and we're gonna replace this one for this one.
All right, and what do you think we're gonna use those pliers for?
To unscrew that.
That's right, so let's go ahead and get this one.
Am I allowed to do this part?
Yeah, you can. You wanna give it a try? You just squeeze them together real hard, and then you gotta turn it. Go ahead, try it again.
You can do it. I'm not getting it.
All right, let me show you. Look. I think because it's upside down, we're actually going the wrong way, okay? So what we want to do is...
Oh, you're squeezing it.
Yeah, because it needs to be turned this way. Yeah.
We were tightening it.
Whoa, look at all that rust. That's what I was worried about. The next thing you want to do is you want to prime your fuel filter. It makes it really hard to start if this is full of air. So we're going to fill it full of fuel before we put it on the machine, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's just set it down on the ground. We'll get ourselves some fuel. We only have a little bit left, so hopefully we have enough of this off-road diesel. It's pretty close. Any more, it'll be overflowing. So I think that'll be all right. Got to keep this clean, okay? Because that could get inside the engine if it gets inside the filter. All right, I'm gonna do this part because it could be a little bit messy. We're just gonna wipe some of this fuel around the O-ring to keep it lubricated when we go to put it on, okay? Then we're gonna screw it up on here and hope that we got the right fuel filter. Looks like it threaded on.
Let's go.
It's fine to take off the filters with these kind of pliers, but I like to use a strap wrench when I'm putting them back on. I'm gonna run down and grab the other wrench that we need. We're gonna snug this up.
We're gonna be tightening the filter with this.
What is that?
I don't know what it's called.
You got it, bud?
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Snug it up a little bit. All right. Let's see if that's good. We'll just go ahead and give it a crank by wait. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Is it good? We don't want to get it too tight. I don't feel any dents in it, so I think you did all right. And I can't take it off by hand, so I think that's good.
Let's go.
All right.
A stick.
Whoa! Can we throw it?
Yeah, you can throw it.
Mason, watch out for a stick! Okay. I'm gonna throw it at the pond. You want me to throw it at the park? Oh, yeah. Okay, you throw it at the pond. You want me to throw it at the pond?
You know, here you go. Here's a flathead screwdriver. Just go ahead and take this line off right here.
Like this?
No. Like this.
Oh, it wasn't tightened.
Yeah, that's probably not very tight. It's just a small clamp.
Right now we're loosening the clamp
For the fuel line.
for the fuel line.
Right, now it looks like it's loose. It's starting to move. So we'll just slide that clamp back a little bit. And,
When we do that, it should be leaking, right?
well, it might not be leaking. So what we need to do to get, what we need to do to get it leaking,
Is pump that.
pump that up.
Am I allowed to try to pump it?
Now, ours is rock hard, and if you have an old machine like this, it's probably going to be the same way. But if you work it a little bit, it'll loosen up. All right, so you saw us struggling with the fuel bladder here, trying to get the fuel system bled. So I got this little electric fuel pump, and I'm going to try to prime the system with this. I've never used it before, so I don't even know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot and see if we can get some fuel through this hose here. So I'm just gonna hook it up to the end. No need to tighten it down or anything. And then I'm gonna get some power from my jump pack. That was also unsuccessful. There could be air getting into the system somewhere else. If the hose is cracked, then it's not gonna, this pump's not gonna work, you know?
Plan B again. Use your pump.
We're on like plan D now, nothing's worked.
Plan C now.
I'm just gonna tighten this line back up, and we're going to let the machine run for a minute and see if it sucks any fuel up. Yep. Ran out. That's what I figured was gonna happen. It ran out of fuel. There's still air in the system, and we're also running out of daylight. So I might have to come back tomorrow to get this finished up. Hey guys, did you have a good dinner?
Yeah. Okay, as you know, we were working on the skid steer and we're gonna try to finish it today. Day 2.
All right, we're back at it again. I made some mistakes yesterday, but I looked up the proper way to bleed this fuel system last night, and I think we're gonna be able to get it today, as long as I didn't airlock it too bad. So let's jump right into it and see if we can get this figured out. I'm thinking that the fuel line might be clogged since we don't have any fuel up here at this primer bulb. So if that's the case, ideally we have an air compressor or something that we can blow back through this line to try to clear it out if it was clogged. We don't have that. The only thing I have is a small electric fuel pump, and I'm gonna try to hook that up. Instead of sucking the fuel through like I did yesterday, I'm gonna try to push it to try to clear the line. Mason was right. Day 2 is a bit of a fail. Yeah, we're not giving up. We're gonna try to get this thing figured out. As far as I can tell right now, it seems like there's a clog in the line.
Day 2, I guess, is over.
All right, we're up here for day 3 of trying to get the skid steer running. I know it shouldn't take us this long, but we only have a couple hours each evening when Mason gets off school to actually mess around with this thing. So tonight, we're gonna try to unclog the fuel system. My dad's letting us borrow the generator and the air compressor to try to see what we can do. And we're gonna get this stuff loaded up. We're not going very far, so I think that'll be okay.
That's the hard part.
I just hit my shin and it hurts so much. Oh.
How much just like, there you go.
A lot. 5 times as much as we have. I don't think I'm going to be able to lift this up into the truck. Nope. This generator is way too heavy, so I think we're going to put it on a little cart or something and try to wheel it over to the skid steer. But that's about 200 or 300 feet away, so we'll see how that goes.
Right now we're using this whatchamacallit thing.
Yeah. This
stroller thing.
This children's bench.
Yeah.
Mason, hold it.
Children bench / wagon to hold this. I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't want to turn too much because the wheels are gonna break.
Yeah, because this thing is heavy.
Yeah. Heavy. I can't even lift it.
Yeah. It was hard to get it on here.
I know. But harder, we're going uphill.
Back too?
Yeah, we gotta get it back too. That's
if we get this thing fixed today, we're definitely using it.
yeah, no kidding. We're putting it on the bucket once we get the skid steer fixed to take it back.
You mean the lift?
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the bucket and bring it back over.
Not the bucket.
Why not?
Because it's hard.
Our wagon barely made it, but the generator's up here safely. It didn't fall off and smash any toes, so we're gonna get it off.
Yes. Oh, that looks so hard.
All right, buddy.
I bet I got a couple scrapes already.
You want to do the honors, Mason? See if it fires up.
Oh, that scared me.
It scared you.
It's on.
It's on.
I can smell it.
You can smell it? Where are you going?
It said like dizzy or sick.
Oh, it says that, yeah, but you don't want to use it in a closed up space, that's all. It's okay, we're outside. All machines have a little smell to them when they're running. Okay? That's normal. Here's our setup. All this to try to get the fuel line unclogged. Hold it away from yourself like this. See how the hose, if it sprays fuel out, it's gonna spray it that way. It is building pressure, but I don't know how far it's going back.
Probably not that far.
It might not be going past this splatter right here.
Starting to get pretty dark, so.
It is starting to get dark.
So we might have to wrap it up for today.
No, we're gonna grab a flashlight and we're gonna check this out a little more. All right, buddy. This is our 4th day up here, right? And we're gonna try to lift up the cab and get access to the pickup tube. We have tried everything and we just can't get fuel coming out of the line. We just gotta get these 2 nuts out right here on the cab. That nut on the front of the cab and this nut on the other side of the cab. And then this whole thing should lift up and it'll give us access to...
I got one question.
1 second. It'll give us access to the top of the fuel tank. What's your question?
What if those are rusted, but it's rusted to the bolts and stuff? What if it's rusted to the thing? It says hard. If like de-rust it or something?
Yeah, we'll spray it with some PB Blaster or something if the nuts are too hard to get off, okay? I'd go ahead and try to loosen one of those up.
Am I allowed to use this side?
Well, you can try, but use whatever side you want.
Am I allowed to sit down?
Yeah, go ahead in there.
I'm just gonna stand up here.
Turn it left.
This way.
No, that's right.
Is that right?
Like this.
This way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Ready? Looks like it's starting to loosen up. Yeah, put that on there.
Oh, I was tightening.
No, you flip this wrench over. Look, see there's this lever on here?
Yeah.
Now you do it like that. There you go, buddy. Take that nut all the way off. Give it a longer swing.
I'm trying. I think I'm tightening it.
No, you're loosening.
I thought it's getting harder.
Yeah, that happens when there's rust on the
Yeah,
bolt.
why? It was easier, harder.
Yep, that happens sometimes. We'll just have to this is most likely a lock nut too. It has like Teflon on it, okay, inside the nut. And that stops the nut from coming off when there's a lot of vibration on a machine. Yeah, rust never makes things easy.
Does this rust make it easy?
Luckily, that doesn't have to get taken apart.
Does this make it easy?
It's almost out, bud. All right, so I got the nut off, I got the washer off. We need a safe place to put these.
Not in my hand.
Want to stick them in your pocket?
No!
No, why not?
They're all musty and crusty.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't like musty and crusty today.
I'll stick them in my pocket, okay? That's what you got to do sometimes, bud. You're working. You're gonna get dirty when you're working. Wherever you're comfortable, but you want to be able to reach your arm out and pull it towards you, because you'll be able to have more leverage. You're doing a great job, buddy. Just keep pulling it. Is that tight? Looks like you got it almost off. I can see threads. Nice job. There you go. Okay. Now when you get to this point, let's see if it's loose enough. We can just unscrew it by hand.
Oh!
Good job.
That took me an hour.
An hour? More like 2 minutes. So you had the thing right off. What's the next step?
Lift this off.
All right, so I got to get out of here, okay? So here, hop down. Okay, we're on the lock, so we should be safe, okay? We got to figure out where the line from back behind the engine, where it goes back here, okay? what it looks like. Okay, Mason, I found it. There's a lot of crust and stuff in here, okay? It was really hard to show you what was going on in there because we're working in such a tight place. But I cleaned out all the grease, dirt, and debris that was around the pickup tube. And when I started pulling up on the hose, I noticed that the pickup tube was actually cracked. So I'm gonna work on getting that out now and figuring out where to get a new one. All right, so I ended up getting the pickup tube out. Even with hooking the fuel pump up where the primer is supposed to be, we're still not getting fuel out. So whether there's a crack in the pickup tube and I just don't see it, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna try one last thing to try to prime the line. I'm gonna remove the line from the pickup tube, put the line down inside the tank, and try to prime the line, and then see if I can keep a continuous flow of fuel and do a better inspection of the pickup tube once I get it out of the machine. All right, this is the pickup tube. If you're looking for the pickup tube on your skid steer, you're gonna wanna lift the cab up, and then back behind the hydraulic tank, under the hydraulic pump, you'll see your fuel line run into a fitting like this, and this pickup tube goes down inside the fuel tank. So right now, I'm just trying to do a visual inspection here to see if there's any cracks. It has been bent a few times, but I don't see anything cracked on it. I pulled the fuel line out, and right now I'm just trying to do a visual inspection of the fuel line to see if there's any cracks on the line itself. It seems like it's completely intact, so I'm not really sure why we're having this issue here. But I thought by replacing the primer bulb with the fuel pump, I would be able to simulate the same thing, pull the fuel through the system, but that didn't work either. So I either have a bad primer bulb and a bad pump here, or there's another issue. All right, we left off with pulling the pickup tube from the fuel tank, and I tried a couple different ways. I ended up picking up a primer bulb from the parts store. Wasn't the right one, but I was at least able to verify what's going on with the pickup tube. So if I dipped the line down in the fuel tank, I was able to get fuel coming out of the primer bulb. If I tried to pull fuel through the pickup tube, I wasn't getting any fuel. Gonna be on my way to Bobcat here in a couple minutes. I'm gonna get the correct primer bulb, and I'm gonna try to get some parts for the pickup tube, but they don't have the entire pickup tube. So right now, I'm just gonna take it apart and try to see exactly what's wrong with it. I know I've been over here for many days now working on this machine to see if we can get it running, but I really wanted to have Mason involved, and you know, just so we could learn together and try to figure out what's going on. This is my dad's machine, and he's getting older. It doesn't get used very much, so over the last 6 months it's just been sitting, and I wanted to get it running so I could get it moved out of the way, use the machine around the property again, and that was the whole point of this video. So anyway, let's get this pickup tube taken apart and see if we can figure out exactly what's wrong with it. This is what we're working with, and I assume it's either clogged up here in this 90-degree fitting or down here where the filter is. And I'm really not sure how to test this. I guess I'm gonna try to just pull it apart. Oh, the fuel came right out as soon as I pulled that off. I'm assuming this is the part that's clogged, the filter down here, because as soon as I pulled that off, it let all the fuel flow right out of the end of this. I really don't want to do this. I guess I could hook up the air compressor, but seems clear to me. Ugh. We're gonna get a new filter at Bobcat, and we're gonna get a new primer bulb, and this machine should be running. All right, so we're back with the parts. I got the filter and the primer bulb, and look who showed up to give me a hand for a little bit. Hi, Emmy. Hi, honey.
Here's Mia.
Say hello.
Hello.
It's a lot nicer out than it was yesterday, so we're gonna try to get this wrapped up in the next hour or so, and then when Mason gets off school, I can let him know the good news that the skid steer is officially running. All right, who's ready to get started?
Mia.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, come on. You want to see what's going on? I don't have any gloves your size, honey. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give me gloves too.
Well, these are special gloves, so my hands don't get stinky from the fuel, okay?
Okay.
Got our new filter here, and just gonna go ahead and push it into the existing pickup tube. Slide our clamp down. All right, so the next thing is we have this grommet here, and you can see how dirty everything is. I'm just gonna clean all this up, slide the grommet off of this fitting, slide the grommet back down into the fuel tank, which it'll be really hard to show you, so I'm just gonna explain it now. But I showed you where the fuel tank was at, located down underneath the hydraulic pump. You'll see your fuel line running into this fitting here, and then, you know, just clean everything up. Take your grommet.
Daddy, I'm gonna race down the hill, Daddy.
You're gonna race down the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You want to wait for Daddy to be done, then I can race you. Okay? Deal?
I can deal.
We're just gonna take this grommet like this, leave it on the line, slide it down into the fuel tank first, and then I'll push the fitting down through it. It'll make it a lot easier to get this fitting, it'll make it a lot easier to get this grommet in if it's not all spread out from the fitting being inside. All right, let's go down in and reinstall our pickup tube. This is going to be the most difficult part of this whole thing. Trying to get this grommet back into the fuel tank, I think.
How's it going?
Oh, terribly. I can't get it in. It just doesn't want to seat all the way. I can get part of it in, and then it just pushes in and
take a picture.
comes back out.
I'll take a picture, Mommy.
Just keep trying it, huh? I don't know what else to do. I mean, that's how it has to go in. It's just fighting me. All right, after fighting with the grommet on the pickup tube for nearly an hour because it was so swollen and fuel soaked, I don't know why I didn't buy a new grommet, but I didn't. So finally got it in. We're gonna run the fuel line, put the new primer bulb in, and try to get this thing fired up. Almost forgot my hose clamp. All right, with our new filter on the pickup tube, the fuel line back in, now I just need to put this back together here. And I just want to say, if you stuck around this long on the video, I really appreciate it. I hope you're learning something, because I've learned quite a few things on this. I don't work on diesels very often, and it'll definitely be interesting figuring out how to bleed this injection pump. Now we need our other part of the fuel line that runs up to the lift pump. Oh, before I put that on there, let's see if I can get fuel out of here now. Did I put this? Aha! I didn't double check, and I made a rookie mistake. Put the primer on backwards. So give me 2 seconds and I'll fix that. I know, some of you probably work on heavy equipment and you're judging me for not knowing what I'm doing. But you know, that's okay. I'm here to learn. I'm not worried about, you know, being an expert at everything. I just figure things out as I go. Oh, I got fuel! Look at that! All right. So we're gonna feed our fuel line back up in there. Grab the clamp. After a week's worth of work coming up here to try to get this thing running and learning about how the fuel system works on this Bobcat, it's finally time to see if we succeeded in getting the Bobcat running again. Oh, sounds like I'm gonna need a jump pack. All right. This is our official second attempt. I have a jump pack hooked up to the battery. The bleeder screw on the injection pump is open. Everything is primed, and now it should start. That didn't sound good. Sounds like my jump pack's dead. All right, well, you saw how that went. I'm on my way home to charge the jump pack for a couple hours, and I'm gonna pick up the kids, and hopefully Mason can be here whenever we get it started up for the first time.
We're back with a fully charged jump pack and we're ready to fire up the skid steer.
Let's get it hooked up. Take the cables off. Unwrap them.
Oh, I always thought it was that way.
All right, now do the other one.
Okay, I get it now.
Ready? Hook up the black one. Yes.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, it is pretty hard. You gotta hook it on here.
Hope it works.
We're just letting the glow plugs warm up. They're pretty cold. It says 15 more seconds, okay?
3, 2, 1.
That wasn't what we wanted.
At least it's like fired. I'm excited because we're gonna start it up and get it on to the next video for the goal of 100 videos on the vlog channel.
You ready to fire this thing?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
That was better.
Yeah?
Ooh, the camera's shaking.
Yeah, it's on the bucket, so.
It's shaking a lot.
Is it?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, 0. That was better than any of our other attempts. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad.
That sounds like a dead battery. But unfortunately, when stuff sits, you end up having to replace parts. And it's probably time for another battery. The best thing I can do is get this battery pulled out, get it on charge.
Or if it doesn't charge, we're gonna have to buy a new one.
That's right. We're gonna have to get another battery if this one doesn't charge.
So it's gonna take like a day or so.
All right, guys. We'll be back once we get this battery situation sorted out next. As you saw, the battery was dead, so we brought the battery over to the garage to get it charged up. We're gonna let it charge up overnight and then see if we can get the skid steer started tomorrow. This is becoming a very drawn out job, but I promise you by the end of this video, the skid steer will be running. All right, it's on charge, and I was actually surprised to see that it has 12 volts, but only about 20% charge. All right, we picked up the battery. It's fully charged. Just got to get this thing thrown back in. All I could find was this pipe hammer, so that's what we're going to use right now. This one should be pretty tight because the terminal's not messed up. There's just no room back here. All right, are we ready?
Yeah! Yeah!
Let me check the fuel situation. This is what we got going on. I had this screwed all the way out so that it would let the air out. I believe that's how that works. But as you can see up here, when I tried to break these nuts loose, the one on the left was actually spinning the line a little bit, and I was worried it was going to break the line. But as you can see, it might have loosened the fitting below the line, and it's starting to leak, and that could be a problem. So I don't know what the best thing to do is. I'll have Kaylin crank the machine. I'll stay back here and monitor the fuel leak, and then that way I can see what's going on exactly. Go ahead and crank it, Kaylin. I'm gonna try to screw this back out again. That don't sound, that's the starter that's making that noise. It's not disengaging. You don't hit the key once it starts, okay, Kaylin?
But I hold it.
Don't hold the key once it starts.
If it starts, let go.
If it starts, let go.
Ready?
All right, go ahead. Yeah, you were holding the key way too long.
It started.
Go ahead, crank it again. It might be running. That's good. That's a good sign. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah!
We did it. While it's idling smooth, I'm gonna try to get it moved into a better location and let it sit there and run for a little bit. Make sure it's not overheating or anything. And this is a good sign. This video's finally paid off. What do you think, bud?
Good!
It's good. Thank you for your help, buddy.
You're welcome.
We did it. High five.
We just have to do the editing and then...
Yep. All right, guys, we did it. We got the skid steer running. It may have taken us 7 days, but Mason learned a lot. I learned a lot. We were able to get the job done. And I just want to remind you, until next time, never stop dreaming, trust your vision, and you too will see more.